Yeah, so TRVL, there's a price chat. So I kind of chat in there really. So TRVL is having a really nice bounce actually. A lot of market buying at the lows. I do have some observations about TRVL, which may be a little bit more bearish than people might think because the price has bounced a little bit. So basically we've lost this major trend line. Okay. Now the question is the trend line at this pivot or is it a bit higher up at that pivot? You know, there's like, trend lines are so subjective that it's kind of hard to know which one to use. That, for me, that was the right one. But then I kind of moved it and I see that we have a lower one here. We almost have two trend lines on TRVL. So let me bring them both up. Okay. And as soon as we broke the top one, the price just collapsed. So there was a very distinct breakdown of that initial trend line, that top trend line. Here you see it's not really respected, but on the higher time frame, it does look like it's being respected. You see here, what is it on the 3-day daily chart? Daily chart. Daily chart, it kind of looks like it is respected. It's just wicked through or something. And so the other thing that I was looking at is just the lower one, just from the wicks, which is usually how you should do trend lines, right? The lowest price. And you can kind of see that, I don't know, it kind of found a little bit of support and resistance, but actually it fell through. We're kind of underneath that right now. Okay, so let me just ignore that top one for now. The other thing that I've noticed on TRVL is that we have held, at the moment we're holding a higher low. Okay, and when I draw a volume profile from this candle to here, I can see that the local of this whole range, the value area, has moved down a little bit, and so we're still in the value area, and albeit we're underneath the point of control. This is Bybit. I'm actually favoring Bybit charts now to the other exchanges because I see there's a lot of volume being put in Bybit now. The other concerning thing for me though is that you see this downward move, there was a lot of volume. You see that? Increasing volume, decreasing prices. I'm really concerned about that. So I think we have a few things to be concerned about. I don't think we're out of the woods yet when it comes to TRVL. Okay. This increase in volume basically, if you look at the value, it's 7.7 million, 4 million. That's quite a lot for TRVL. It's quite a lot. So there's a lot of selling going on and the price has come down. So there's a real shift in, there's a real price adjustment there. And Slurf needs to break above 385 and then blast up. DGM says 0.031. Yeah, I think the problem right now is when you look at the weekly time frame as well, you see that we have basically a weekly reversal pattern on our hands at the highs of this range. That's also quite concerning for me. Yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned about TRVL. I can always be wrong. Everyone can always be wrong when they analyze. It's just a little bit concerning. And unless next week we go up, then it's not going. It's going to look terrible. Yeah, we're at a really critical place, and the critical part of this location is really, in my mind, it's that higher time frame fib. So let me just go to my other chart. So on MEXC, actually, look, on MEXC we've come into the value area high. So we are on support, and then we've got this. This is the one. You see support. I called it support at 5.5. Yeah. So we're coming back into this really high level fib level support line. We're coming back for the second time into our support lines. Yeah. And these are all higher level support lines. We came back once on fib time, and this is the second time we're back at this level. I don't like that idea that we're back at the same level a second time, but it is support. It's support until it's not. So you can clearly see that there's been a nice reaction at that level. And so in my mind, even though it looks like we've broken this trend line, which we have, okay, that's been broken, clearly you can see that we've lost that trend line, that first trend line. We are into a major support area now. This is a really major support area. At the moment, we've held a higher low at the moment. And so I just want to go through the different scenarios right now, okay, with TRVL. If we lose support here, well, there's a few things that can happen. We either go up, which would be great, but that being said, if we do go up, I wonder how many people are going to sell into that rise, you know, because there's a lot, you could argue there's a lot of trapped liquidity in this range, and people might be feeling a little bit bearish now, so they might be looking to exit and wait and be patient, you know. So you have to be worried, you have to be concerned about that. Going up isn't always a good thing. And looking at, this is the MEX chart, you can see on all of the charts we're underneath the point of control. So naturally that would be a strong resistance until it's flipped into support. Yeah. And we've lost this trend line. So there's going to be resistance levels above us if we go up. It's just a fact. So we're going to have to deal with that. If we go down though, make a lower low here, it'd be really bearish, but maybe in the higher time frame it becomes more bullish. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, because I think a lot of people are looking to pick up this token at lower prices. Yeah, that's what I think. I think there's a lot of people interested in TRVL now, and they're becoming more and more interested. And it's a very illiquid token, and it wouldn't be hard for someone to accumulate a large amount of this token if the price really came down to 4 cents or something like that. I think a lot of people would, that might actually be more bullish, because you could end up with something like that, you know. It could happen. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bearish if that was to happen. It would be hard for the people who have been hodling and haven't taken profit, because they see their paper valuation go down by 50, 100%, 200%. Yeah. And everyone's been quite patient. It would be losing this major area of support. So ideally, you'd want to go down fast. You wouldn't want to build. I wouldn't want to consolidate here and then go down. And I wouldn't want to consolidate here at all, actually. I want to see the price either go down or go up. I don't want us to consolidate on support for a long period of time and create bearish volume before we go down. Yeah. And if we are going to go up, then we should go up. There's no reason to consolidate here. Let's just go up. Yeah. Let's reject on this area and let's head up. Again, let's not mess around sitting on support. And I think that's what I'm thinking to myself. I don't want to be on support for the next 2 weeks. I think that's going to look really bearish if we're just sitting on support for 2 weeks. That will be bearish consolidations. Consolidation above support is bearish in a downtrend, in a down move. Yeah. Ideally, what you want to do is you either just want to lose support and go down fast, pick up liquidity, and then zap up fast as well because you've come down fast. That's ideally what you want to do. I don't think that would look too bad, because it would it doesn't invalidate an idea, it just means my idea wasn't correct. So I had these ideas before, and I apologize if people thought that they were gospel. It's just ideas. It's all speculation really, isn't it? So the idea is an Adam and Eve pattern and a Wyckoff accumulation, right? We have to hold here for the Wyckoff accumulation because I've got that as the lowest point of support. If we don't hold here, that idea is invalidated. So you can just delete it. And an Adam and Eve bottoming pattern, I think it's looking like that idea is becoming invalidated now. Yeah, because I don't think we should be down here now. We should have been going up. Like, we were in the right range here following that curve. Yeah, and we've kind of just lost that curve, haven't we? That's what it looks like to me. Like, we really shouldn't have done that this last week, and we should have gone and made a higher high and taken out that point. So that I'm really bummed that we haven't been able to make a higher high, and that's on the monthly time frame. And the reason why I'm bummed is because it would have made our work so much easier if we would have been able to make a higher high here. So much easier. If we would, even if it was just by 1 pip, make a higher high, then we're looking for a higher low, and it would have been fine. I would have been okay with that. The fact that we haven't made a higher high it makes me kind of depressed, to be honest with you, because it just tells me that there's a little bit more work. It doesn't mean that it suddenly the whole thing becomes a bearish idea. It just means that it wasn't ready, or it's not ready yet, or the markets aren't ready yet to go up. Yeah, we're just not ready yet. And I think this is nothing changes as far as the project's concerned. This project is off the charts. It's amazing. And you just have to go and look at Dtravel's Twitter to see that. So my thoughts right now are, if Bitcoin goes down, we're going to lose the support. Let's just be honest about the reality of what could happen. There's no reason that we're going to hold support if Bitcoin goes down to $50,000. Nothing is going to be able to hold us unless there's a whale out there with millions of dollars and they're willing to put a limit order at 5.5 cents and suck up all of the selling pressure. That's the only way that we don't go down. Yeah, if Bitcoin goes down, that would be extremely bullish, but at the same time, that's the only way it could happen. Yeah, you're not going to be able to survive going down if Bitcoin goes down. Okay, and so everything changes, because now potentially this is a lower high. Yeah, and we just have to see where the price finds support. And I don't necessarily think it's going to go down too far. We might end up with going down like a little failed auction and right back up. Yeah, then you're looking at something more like a higher time frame inverse head and shoulders type idea. Or the other thing that could happen is if we do go down and make a lower low here and come back up, we can still have that idea. It's still possible. DJM is saying some traders are looking at an AI summer. Well, that would be amazing, because if we have an AI summer, then I think TRVL is going to really go to the moon, because it's an undiscovered AI, and they've got an announcement coming soon as well, and that's to do with AI, some kind of AI partnership that's happening in the next 2 weeks, like in time for the Bitcoin halving. So it's not easy to predict with the way the price is moving. I think a lot of what's happening is to do with Bitcoin. It's nice to see a reaction of this level again. It's nice that we've held a higher low. Yeah, I'm just really concerned about the volume on Bybit. It's just really got me concerned. And so therefore, I would be thinking to myself, oh, that's Bitcoin again, sorry. When it comes to TRVL, I'm thinking to myself, the only way to reverse that is with an increase in volume now, an injection of volume. Yeah, because we've had this decline, this increase in volume on the way down. It's a lot of volume. So you need that volume to come back in. You don't just go back up with after the volume has left the token. And we would need to, I think I'm looking at it now, and even though that this trend line never was in play before, it looks like it's in play now. It looks like the price is finding resistance, and so you kind of want to get back into higher levels. And we need to change market structure too. So you can clearly see, even on the 1 hour time frame, hold on, let me have a look. No, the 1 hour time frame is, we've just made a higher high. So let me ignore the 1 hour because it's too local. Let's go to the 4 hour. You see on the 4 hour time frame, we've been making lower highs, we've been making lower lows. We need to change that first. I think if people are like thinking to themselves, when is this going up? I don't think it's going to go up until we change market structure. And I think the 4 hour market structure for me is the first sign of like a midterm change in the way the price is behaving. And we haven't been able to change it. We almost did, but we haven't. Yeah, look, we almost did, because here, look at what happened. I'll show you. We were close. We're making lower lows, lower highs. We made a higher high there, and we weren't able to hold. We held there, but that's where it gave up. That's where it gave up. And actually, what we needed to happen was for the price to go up and make a higher high. And that would have been a market structure change from a downtrend to a higher trend. And the way that could have happened, the only way that could have happened, and it almost was there. You see here, someone was limit buying. They had limit buys here at that price. And if that would have continued through the whole of this down move, if that whale, whoever that was just said, I'm just going to buy at 7.7. I don't care what about the rest of the market. I'm just going to absorb all of this selling pressure. There's a lot of pressure though, because you can see a shit ton of volume came out of this token. So that whale would have had to have absorbed like 5 or so, on this exchange, 5 or so million of value at 7.7. If that would have happened, then we would have had a higher high by now, because the market, Bitcoin would have bottomed in this local drop, and then you see this, this would have just continued up. Yeah, that's just how it works. It just wasn't there. There just wasn't enough demand at that price to create bullish market structure at that level. That's just what, it's just the market telling you that there's not enough demand at that level, and the bearish market structure continues. At the moment on the daily time frame, we're still bullish because we haven't made a higher low yet, a lower low yet. That's our higher low. That's our higher high. We're still in higher low territory. If we make a lower low and take out this pivot, that'll be a lower low. We're still not in bearish market structure, because after you make a lower low, you have to make a lower high, and then you have to confirm it with another lower low. That's the way to change market structure on the daily time frame. And you could make it like, and this is what I'm thinking, we could, let's say worst case scenario, we make a lower low here. You could easily go up and make a higher high. You know, it can easily do that. Doesn't mean, it's not the end of the world. And that just goes back to bullish again. If that was to happen, then the whole thing goes straight back to bullish. So anyway, I think what I'm saying when it comes to TRVL, what I'm thinking when it comes to TRVL, is we need Bitcoin to find strength. So just keep an eye on Bitcoin. If you see that Bitcoin is now strong again, then that's going to give you the confidence to start buying altcoins. Don't just jump in if you see that Bitcoin is still showing weakness. Yeah, we need Bitcoin to be strong, or we need Bitcoin to be right at the bottom, like absolutely at the bottom on support. One of two conditions for altcoin speculation. It's Bitcoin right at the bottom, or Bitcoin is showing strength. Yeah, and if you don't see either of those two things, then you've got to be very careful with altcoins, because they can go down much further. And I think actually what was interesting is there was a post on Twitter by Benjamin, what's that guy's name? Benjamin Cohen or whatever. I saw it yesterday, and he's, you know what, he, for me, he's quite a, he's usually always right. Surprising. I remember in the last, not Benjamin Cohen. What's that guy's name? Benjamin Cowen. There it is. Cohen. This guy. Let me find what he wrote. It's quite interesting. He writes quite a lot of interesting stuff. He's a Bitcoin analyst, really, but he does other stuff as well. And look, here he writes, base case remains that alt versus Bitcoin pairs will drop to the range lows. That means alt BTC pairs still should collectively drop 38% from here before they potentially find the bottom. I mean, this guy's quite a smart cookie, you know, like, I don't disregard his posts. I remember in the last bull market, he was looking at Bitcoin not going as far as people suggested, and he was like, he was one of the few who was saying, no, we're kind of overextended now, be careful, get ready. And naturally the market dumped. So he's quite a safe analyst, and look, he's saying that the altcoin compared to Bitcoin are going to pull back quite a lot. So I'm kind of paying attention to his posts. Actually, I always do. I think he's quite a smart person, and of all of the ones out there, he's probably one of the smartest. So just be careful, don't go crazy. And the number one rule is to always have value on the sidelines for lower prices. Yeah, if you have that kind of safety net, then you're not going to worry about price declines, because you can always buy at lower prices. But don't, there's when I'm thinking about, I want people to defend 5.5 cents, of course, but I also don't want people to willy-nilly use all their value and their capital to defend 5.5 cents if the market tells us that we're going much lower. Yeah, if the market wants us to go lower, I would rather people buy back lower and just accumulate lower, you know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So of course I want people to defend 5.5 cents. I bought at 5.5 cents, you know, I'm participant in the collective movement that we're creating. But at the same time, I think if Bitcoin does pull back, it is possible that we head down to the point of control. That's what I'm thinking right now. And if you look at the point of control of this overall range, let me just pull it up again. Yeah, it's quite low, huh? It'd be all the way down at 3 cents. Yeah, so from 5.5 to 3 cents. That's, I'm thinking, if we do start going down, that's naturally the place where the price is going to find support again. That will be the target. And I'm just saying, if we do go down that far, I want people to accumulate or to buy back in or whatever at the point of control. It doesn't necessarily have to look bearish, because I think I've seen this before in these cycles with these like really low cap tokens, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me just hide that. Let me just delete that now. So if I go to the normal regular chart, go to the weekly. So this is the regular chart. Yeah, not the log. I use the log for charting, but I just want people to look at the regular chart. Okay, I've seen this kind of price action before on long drawn out consolidation ranges after a big drop, and this is after the initial launch. Yeah, the launch of the token, we had this initial big drop. I've seen this kind of price action before where you get these kind of up and up and up. Yeah, but every time what happens now is you're making higher lows. So they'll naturally, I am expecting a higher low here. I'm not expecting that we make another all-time low. mainly for the reason that I'll be buying. And I'm almost complete to selling a property. I'm just going to buy TRVL as much as I can, really, especially now that the price is coming down. I've seen it where what happens is you get this kind of behavior, and then what you get the next one is that is like eventually it gives out. Yeah, eventually it breaks and then it goes to the moon. It really does. And then you get this kind of, you get this first one, and then the next one is the parabola. It's the one that takes us really to Mars and beyond. And if you want to have a look at that kind of price action, you can see it in historic tokens. Let me just think of one that comes to mind. It has to have a drop first. So what has a drop first? Let me think. I'm just having a look at random ones. I'm not sure. And I need all the data as well. Not just, I need the full data. But, not dot. Don't think dot was that. Actually, maybe Doge. Is it Doge? Would Doge be the best one to look at? Oh God. Maybe Doge is the best one to look at. Gotta hide all this stuff though. Just hide it. See the normal price chart, yeah? See that? So you kind of get these kind of ups, and then you get up and you get a high low. See that? And then it goes up, and then it goes up. See that? And I've seen this a lot. This is just one easy example to show you. And obviously, and look, and Doge actually did it multiple times. It didn't just do that once, twice. It did it quite a lot. You got a situation where it just kept on doing that. And when you look at the original price action on Doge, you zoom in and have a look historically. For a long period of time, it was just kind of going nowhere or going down. Yeah, it was quite annoying for people who were involved in that consolidation range. But we might be in a very similar situation. We might be in a very similar situation where it tries to go up, it just comes right back down. But actually what it does is it gives people an opportunity to reaccumulate. And what I'll be looking for is a higher low. Here you can see with Doge it made a higher high, so we haven't had that yet. Okay, so that's quite interesting. Actually, Doge was more bullish, probably because it made a higher high, and so it changed market structure. And so therefore, once you had the higher low and took out that high, it went to the moon, it exploded. So when I go back to TRVL and just have a look and think to myself, looking at the price action, you see, we're doing something similar, maybe, potentially. I just want to see what happens this next week, yeah? If we go down, then I'll be expecting 3 cents to hold as support. That'll be like the real low, I think. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, 3 cents does hold. And it does go down to 3 cents. I don't want it to go down to 3 cents, to be honest with you, but if it does, I just accept it. It's just life. And I apologize to anyone if they were like counting on me. I have always said that you should never be all in, and you should have fiat in reserve. Yeah, because at any point in time the price can always drop. I've always said that. But actually, this is the trend line that I'll be looking at then. You take the all-time low to this pivot here. If this was, so I'm just contemplating a down as well. Just if so from that pivot to this pivot, you can pull a really low angled trend line from these two lows, the all-time low to the test, yeah, and then you take that pivot to that pivot, which is the recent one that we put in. Basically that's your triangle now, that's your range, I think, yeah. And you have a horizontal at 3 cents, which is the overall range point of control on all the exchanges. And to be honest with you, it's much lower than this trend line. So I don't even know if 3 cents, if it will get down. Like, I'm actually thinking it probably won't get down to 3 cents. It's more likely than not that it will find support slightly higher up if we were to go down. That's what I'm thinking. But I mean, 3 cents would be, again, it wouldn't look good because again, you're losing potential trend lines. It wouldn't look good. But if it was to happen, I think 3 cents is the best place to buy. If you had a gift, it would be to buy TRVL at 3 cents, because that's the overall range of this multi-year range point of control. But I am now looking at the chart. I'm looking for this lower trend line to hold as an absolute base on the price action, and that will sometime in the future, it would correspond with some kind of horizontal line. Now there's a lot. You look at all that price action, there's a lot. At the moment we're still holding a higher low, so I'm just getting us ready for the future if it comes. Okay, this would be better. Do it in log. So actually it's a little bit more of a bullish triangle because it's kind of sloped upwards. Yeah, I think I'd be looking to see the price kind of rest on this lower trend line somewhere. Probably somewhere above 4 cents, I'd be thinking. But let's see. And it depends, because it depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin dumps, anything can happen. So just bear that in mind. All right, so I just leave that for everyone. Let me just do a point of the volume pool here. Yeah, you see the point of control is much lower now. See that? I don't think I want to lose this this new trend line that I've drawn on the lows. I want us to go anyway, that's thinking downwards. Thinking upwards, well, look, quite simply, we're at a good place for the price to reverse. Yeah. This is the weekly candle that's forming. That's not going to be a bottoming candle on its own. You're going to need another candle. Like the bottoming candles are going to be 2 weeks in a row. Red, green. Now, some of these red greens, like this one had no wicks. Well, this one's got a wick. This one, the price went down and wicked and then went up. And then this one, you had something else. You had like a small wick and then a push up. So we have to really see what happens next week. A swing failure of the lows would be a perfectly good place to buy the price if we go down first. And again, I said, if we take out this previous week low, it's still a good place to buy. All right, that looks nice, that volume. The volume is good, yeah. The volume has been good, and it's been increasing volume. And this is on Bybit. KuCoin has been having good volume as well. Let me get rid of all this stuff. We had this big volume here. We had some green volume here. Yeah, it still looks like the Adam and Eve could be in play, but I just can't. I just don't know if I like this red candle. Honestly, I didn't really think that this last red candle is nice. The only good thing about this red candle is the fact that we've cleared the liquidity from the weekly level before we dropped. So therefore, if the next time we go up, it's not going to be such an important level, that weekly level, because it's already been cleared of liquidity from that level. That's the only good thing I can see in this weekly candle. But otherwise, as you can see on the descent, we've got some daily levels, 1, 2, daily levels. They're going to act as resistance on the way up. All right, that's that. If there are any questions on TRVL, I haven't really done a separate TRVL update. I think the way I'm seeing this, I wanted it to go up, and unfortunately for reasons that I can't explain, we're having a big pullback. If support here holds, we're going up. Yeah, this is a really key level. Yeah, we haven't lost support yet. It's 5.5 cents area is really major support. We hold here, we're going up. If we lose this area, it just gives people an opportunity to buy lower. I think that would be a gift in the context of what's going to happen or what's coming with this token. I think this is going to be an opportunity to increase the size of your bags at lower prices, because eventually we're going to go up and we're going to get to really high numbers. Eventually it will happen. It's just about being patient. All right, so I wouldn't be too stressed about it. It can be stressful. Looking at today's price action, we had a little bit of a buy up. Most of the volume came in from KuCoin, and it looks like we're just coming to back test some kind of previous level before we possibly go back down. That's what it looks like at the moment. I can't predict the future, and it is quite a bullish impulse. So we have to see where the price comes back to find support. Hopefully it will just come back to find support here and then go up. Hopefully that would be really nice. Yeah. 5.5 cents. Again, back to 5.5 cents. We can get back to 5.5 cents, and then if we see a buy up, I think that's going to have everything to do with what happens with Bitcoin. You see Bitcoin now is rejecting from the value area low. So again, it was into resistance. It's not a rejection yet, but it's starting to struggle, and you would expect that on the end of a Sunday for the price to start struggling at the end of the day, because people are like, they'll start closing their positions if they were long, because they would have hoped for higher, and they'll be looking to close their positions down, and they'll just be market selling. So that's quite normal behavior. That's why it's really a bad idea to trade at the end of Sunday. Let's see what Slurf is looking like right now. Yeah, Slurf